Well, by now you have seen the movie The Suicide Squad. I am Carcino, and let's go into the spoiler-loaded review. See, this is what you're supposed to do. You've seen a lot of these guys who's reviewing these films doing you a terrible, terrible misjustice by sitting up here giving you spoiler reviews before the movie is even released. It's a sad attempt to try to get a hit and get ahead of the curve of other people on the internet who might just decide to spoil it before you do. I just think that's terrible, and I don't think that it's fair to the people that allow you to see movies for free for you to come along and start just tearing apart their world. It's like someone invites you in their home, show them the proper courtesy and respect. And I just felt that that was wasted by these opportunists who just want to go out and get a couple of hits early instead of doing it the right way. Well, now the film has been out a week. This is the right way to do it. Let's talk about the spoiler-loaded review. Now, once this movie starts, like I told you, this is one of the best looking superhero films I've ever seen. As far as the scale of how the colors are and the 3D, this is something you can watch on 3D and be blown away by because how well it looks. You're like, wow, I like the way this looks. The whole penitentiary, everything that they had for the film was done the right way. It's more based the comic book than probably any other film that's been made. The Suicide Squad is more grounded in that faction. Now, my issues with this film, of course, is how they advertised it. They had the Joker everywhere, right? Jared Leto is the Joker. And you use this guy's marketing, knowing that this guy is going to be in the film limited. You know you're getting ready to aggravate an entire core audience that is under the belief he's going to be in this film a lot. Which really hurt the film because it would have been a more epic film had you found a way to focus more on the relationship with the Joker and Harley Quinn. More than Deadshot with Will Smith. Now, for comic book fans who may not realize it, there was a couple of comics where they had this chemistry between each other where she kind of likes him. You know, and there's actually, I think, an episode in one of the comics where they kissed before. But she's always was Joker's girl. But she liked Deadshot. Now, Deadshot was supposed to be played by Keanu Reeves, but Will Smith ended up accepting the part. And I like what Will Smith brought to the table as Deadshot. It was just too much Will Smith to you to ever identify Deadshot. It's like his identity is not there. It's Will Smith from Bad Boys and every other movie playing Deadshot in the movie, you know, and he's just doing whatever he wants to do. My problem with that is he doesn't have the mask on long enough, you know, and it's like the mask doesn't mean anything. You know, it took away from the character, and it's like, well, we need Will with his mask off. We got to get the acting, the connection, and they felt they couldn't do that. It's like, look, you got to understand who you're selling this to. You're selling this to people who read comic books. They go to the movies. They're the guys that are going to watch this film 3 and 4 times, where the casual fan is going to watch it once and wait for it to come on video and then probably buy it for their kids. These comic book guys who are in their 30s and 40s, they're going to be back 3 and 4 times. So yeah, they want to see Deadshot. Now, the parts about the Joker that I kind of like went over and kind of glanced it, is that they show a lot of flashback scenes of all these classic comic book storytell moments between the first meeting with the Joker and Harley Quinn and all of this when they became the king and queen. It's great comic book shots, but there needs to be a storyline somewhere between the two. It's like the Joker doesn't have enough screen time for you to really identify a performance for him that stands out. It's like how they used Batman in this film. Batman was chopped in so much that it basically could have been a stunt double doing all the work. And he just had like maybe one scene that he did. The entire film. I mean, really, it's entirely a, gosh, it's hard to say. But this is the type of film in which it takes away from what was grand. Like the scale was grand, it was grainy. I mean, this was comic book Batman versus Joker, and it was great. With Harley Quinn, you had the right cast to play this. And I think Affleck is a great Batman. He's a great choice for Batman. Now, with this being said, while they're playing this out, boom, Joker's in a clip, Joker's out of it. Joker's in it, Joker's out of it. And then he's like gone for so many. There's so much cutting involved because, like I said, I believe they're trying to sell you a DVD more than the actual film. They want to sell you the Blu-ray extended version DVD. You run out and buy it and you get to see the extra scenes that they're going to put in there with 30, 40 plus minutes extra with the Joker. More Joker scenes. So now you're going to run out and buy the DVD because you didn't get what you paid your money to see the first time. So now you got to see it again with some extra scenes that we cut out, and it still ain't going to be enough for the Joker. So, like, there's the scene when the helicopter crashed, but we seen in the trailer where the Joker has the burns on the side of his face and he's still wearing that suit from when he was on the plane. Yeah, that's one of the scenes I'm talking about. Where that's going to be probably on the DVD. And I said it then, I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be on DVD. Because it was in the trailer and we didn't see it here in the film. So, yeah, well, that'll probably be a DVD moment. And there's a lot of moments in here where you find that might have been on the editing room floor. Now, let's go into the actual plot with Succubus and Incubus, the brother and sister witches, as the villains in this film. Succubus, which is known as Enchantress in this film, and how she takes over Cara Devon's character, which is I don't even know her name in the film. What was it, Erin or something like that? Okay, she was Erin or something. I don't know. She changes into two different characters in the film. But this girl, Karen DeVenji, or whatever, the model, who played in Paper Towns or something. Anyway, she's in the film, and what she does, I love the way they have the hand come and twist the hand. I thought that was a great shot when they do that. And when she turns into the witch, having her break out to be the villain was not a problem for me. Figuring that they portrayed her as one of the members of the team who just basically went rogue and decided to go elsewhere, and they had her heart in a container and they're stabbing the heart, and how her brother kept her alive and all of these things. But it's like, okay, instead of us worrying about these villains actually doing something, all they did was like, okay, now that I got this power, I'm going to stay in this enclosed location. Let's stay here, brother, me and you, in this spot, because we don't want to have the budget to move us around. Let's just stand right here in this spot and don't go anywhere, and let's make a big old maroon mushroom cloud, then laser going up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if this is not the worst thing ever, this is looking like Fantastic Four all over again. Why do we need to have this beam of light going through the clouds with all this mushroom stuff floating around it? It's like it didn't work for Fantastic Four. It's not going to work here. The more engaging scenes were done with the actual characters. Killer Croc, great. Great artwork, great everything about him. That character was supposed to be King Shark. It was rumored they were going to bring King Shark in, and thank God they didn't. We had enough of him on the Flash series. So now, having Killer Croc in there, who's actually close by the prison, Louisianan, it fits that he would get captured being right next to Louisiana. So all of this is making sense. So it makes sense for him to be in this area. It makes sense for him to be here. It makes sense for him to be in this spot at this time. All of these things are lining up to the proper place they're supposed to be in. So Viola Davis, who was playing Amanda Waller, rumored that Oprah Winfrey was going to play that character. No way would Oprah play a character that's going to be as ruthless as Amanda Waller. I didn't buy that at all. And Rick Flagg's character, I just don't get how he's okay with Viola Davis. It's none of my business. She's shooting up everybody, but he has a problem with Will Smith character Deadshot being an assassin. I just don't find that as believable. He's always bickering with, yeah, you're gonna cut and run. You're not. I'm a soldier, and there's honor in what we do. But yet you with this woman who just kills people just because, she feels like it. She don't care. And then you're like, none of my business. So, how you going to be nonchalant about that and then go at it morally with Deadshot? The scenes with him and his daughter, Deadshot, was perfect. I didn't care about that at all. Captain Boomerang was great. I think Jai Courtney found the right role for himself in this film. Excellently laid out. And for you guys, I put in a special note in the description box. Click and watch this video. You're going to crack up laughing throughout this entire video. You will not believe the comment. The words that are coming out of these people's mouths on this review that they're doing on this film. You will be totally amazed. Trust me, it is worth your time to go in that description box and watch that video. I'm going to put it right in there for you, so you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Margaret Robbie played a great role as Harley Quinn. She was exceptional. She gave heart. She gave every emotion you can see from an actress in that performance. She was a staple in the film. I just felt her energy was best suited to coincide working with the Joker, who they had decent chemistry with, but we needed to see more of that. I would have paid for a movie 10 times over to see the Joker and Harley Quinn being the focal point of the movie, for her working with him while he's locked up, to his escape and everything else, her jumping into the chemicals. And like I said, in the notes it put down there that she's the one responsible for killing Robin. Even though it shows up on the screen for like 2 seconds, it sticks in your head. You catch it right away. Like, whoa, she killed Robin? Where in the comic books and in the cartoon and everything else, it was Jared Leto's character, Joker, that did the killing. So now that we look at everything, the ensemble and everybody that's laid out, the cast that stuck out was El Diablo. Now, El Diablo character, who was possessed by a demon, that's why he's in such disarray, And in the comic, he burns up, accidentally burns women and kids while he was trying to burn up a couple of drug dealers who he was trying to steal drugs from. So, while that was happening, on the scene that he was starting to steal the drugs from, they just changed it up to make it more, he burnt up his family. And that was a good switch because emotionally he would be, it would make sense for him to surrender instead of being captured. And he was so distraught by that moment in time. Deadshot has always had reluctance in killing Batman in the comics because he says Batman stands for something and he has no plight to want to kill him. He kind of agrees with what Batman's doing and he kind of admires it, even though he's a paid assassin. You know, he's paid to do what he wants to do. Every time he's confronted with Batman, you know, he doesn't feel that there's a need to try to kill him. And Common's character, Common the rapper, when he's got all these tattoos everywhere, he's based on a comic character called Tattoo. That was one of the gangsters that was in the comic books. He had a lot of tattoos everywhere. To have him come in to play that role, to get himself killed and taken out in such fashion was like, okay. Thought there'd be more to it than that when we saw him on the set. You know, that looked like one day of work. They seemed like they spent more time on his makeup than putting him in there. Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood, got a couple of lines in, but didn't stand out like Ike Barinholtz, the comedian, who kind of brought the levity to the film. He's the guy that the Joker comes in there and, oh, that chit-chat is gonna get ya hurt. Makes him kiss the ring and everything else. So, overall, I say this movie is a success. I mean, they finished 5 minutes under what they were supposed to do. And I really liked all the characters. I think meshing all those characters together, they've done a better job than a lot of other films. And it is the best looking film and more strict to comic book than Avengers. Now, is this movie the epic movie it should be? No, but it is a good movie. I think they did a great job. It's just certain things they needed to do a little better. Especially the end scene was epic when they said, well, we got to cut her heart out. Then she goes back, and so instead of that Hulu, like that voodoo dance she was doing, like she was doing like the hula or whatever. Hey, her body's moving all crazy. Then she snaps out of that goofiness and goes back to her dark witch self. When she hears that, she like cuts off from that and gets dark, and then goes into fighting them with 2 blades. She like disappears and grabs 2 blades from some other country and comes back. And gets into a battle with all of them. I thought that was probably the best scenes of the movie, when she was fighting all of the Suicide Squad. And there's the fact that she's admired. She doesn't really want to kill them because she is an ally with them. Like, look, you guys are like me. We're all like criminals here. But where she's from, this being succubus and incubus, they were betrayed by the humans. They were like gods. And the gods worship them. And without the worship, you know, they want to punish them now for not worshiping them anymore. They were betrayed and put into these tombs where they had to rest for all these years and captured into these little containers. And now that they're freed from their prison, they're like, what happened to us? You know, like, what happened? We were betrayed by the humans, but he's like, they worshipped us. And Succubus, she sees with the metahumans the change that's happening with the humans now. It's like, look, it's all turning around. But her power comes from having humans bow to her. And that's why she was more than killing them. She's, brother, make them bow to me. You know, like, they're supposed to be worshipped. Like, so to kill you is not just what they want to do. They don't want to just kill you. They want you to be beaten down to submission to where you say, okay, I'll have to bow to you now. And submit to your rule. Which is kind of how the pharaohs were back in the days. So it plays back into that time. So people wondering, why is she letting her bow before her knees? Why does she let Harley Quinn trick her into bow? Because that's what they were for, bow. Somebody saying, okay, I'm finna bow. Yes! Alright, that's what I want. Bow down and everything is going to be yours. It's like a politician. If somebody say, you know what, I think I'm going to vote for you. Yes, let that man through. That's the man I want to hear. He's ready to vote. Place that vote for me and you don't have to worry about money no more. So, you know, I mean, moving forward, do I see another Suicide Squad movie? No, I don't. Do I need to see another Suicide Squad movie? I would like to see one. But not if it's not going to involve the Joker and Harley Quinn. If you want to do a Suicide Squad with the Joker and Harley Quinn, absolutely. But I think they're going to get individual films. Like I'm thinking this single Batman film is going to deal with Jared Leto's Joker and Arkham Asylum, with Margaret Robbie being involved as well. Now, if Deadshot's involved in that, that's excellent. Right there, you got the new movie there. Because in the end credits, you know, you see Batman tell Amanda Waller, Viola Davis's character, stand down. We got this. Like, you can stand your crew down. You know, we're going to tackle this. So, you might see these guys pop up in individual roles. Like Karen, the Fakura character with the sword that traps her victims. You know, I like that. She might pop up in another character, DC movie, character base. But this movie here was just to really introduce you to all these characters. You know, I hate El Diablo's gone, you know, and Slipknot, how he got himself blown up in the comic. It was his hand that blew up, but here it was his neck. And, you know, it was fitting that he went. You know, he wasn't going to go with the program no how. So, you know, I'm happy for him. You know, I think this movie was a lot better than what Rotten Tomatoes had it. I mean, that was just totally initial, we're mad because we didn't get what we thought we were going to get movie review. And I get it. You know, you guys thought you were going to see a lot of the Joker and Harley Quinn, and when you didn't see that, and it kind of soured your mouth about what the movie was about, then I get it. But I can't destroy an entire film based on that premonition. So, I have to judge it as a movie completely. And as a movie completely, I would give this movie a B. You know, A being the highest thing, B is fair, I think. So, it's your boy Carcino. I'm out. And don't forget, in that description box, I have watched that video. The title alone blows you away, but watch the video. It'll totally explain a lot.